The XPRIZE Foundation requested ideas for its next big incentive prize. As a permaculture urbanist, I couldn't resist. Cities have been adding public transit, bike lanes, and multifamily housing, which is great, but a few more steps are needed to make sustainability truly effortless. So I proposed a prize for a proof of concept that would combine two more major breakthroughs. Welcome to Edenicity, best practices for sustainably abundant cities. What is the XPRIZE? The XPRIZE was founded in 1996 by Peter Diamandis to spur innovation. The first prize competition was the $10 million Ansari XPRIZE for the first passenger vehicle to travel to space and back twice in 2 weeks. Bert Rutan's team from Scaled Composites won the contest in 2004. Since then, the XPRIZE Foundation has awarded 30 prizes worth a total of $519 million. And as you can see on their site, the prizes are in a wide variety of domains, from biodiversity to climate and energy to food and water waste, health, learning, and space exploration. I had gotten on the list a few years back, just out of curiosity, so when they sent the announcement, it was pretty exciting. The timing was good, I had a contest idea, but the deadline was coming up in just a couple of days, and it turned out to be a bit of a process. They wanted to know what problem your prize would solve. And for Edenicity, the big untested thing is whether cities can grow all of their food and provide all of their energy within city limits. But in the past, I've had a number of people ask, well, is there some way of testing this without building an entire city or completely rebuilding an entire city? So after quite a bit of thought, the question really came down to, could an apartment block provide all of its own food and energy on site? Now, why does this matter? As mentioned in like half my episodes, humans occupy half the land and we've wiped out about half of the life on Earth. The world's urban population is growing by 200,000 people a day from now through 2050. So growing food in cities could do a lot to free up vast landscapes for wilderness restoration. They wanted to know what misconceptions and challenges the idea faces. And it seemed to me that the biggest challenge is that people still to this day think of sustainability as a matter of personal austerity. That is to say, if we want to save the planet, we're going to have to get used to living with less, lowering our expectations, having less, doing less, and maybe being less. But in my view, that's mostly false because most of the systems that keep us alive offer little to no choice. Cities in the United States and elsewhere in the world are designed around cars. And if you don't have one, you are economically disadvantaged. You need a car to have a good job and just basically get through your life. When you go to a store or even a farmer's market, so much of the produce is packed in plastic. Most of us live car-dependent, plastic-dependent, fossil fuel-dependent lives, and that is a result of designs that most people have very little choice in. The second misconception is that only toxic industrial farms can feed the world. This too is false. In his book, Dirt, the Erosion of Civilizations, David R. Montgomery argues from many lines of evidence that layered small farms have since antiquity fed more people than large plantations or, in modern days, industrial farms. And these small farms are also the only known way to sustain and build healthy soil in a farm environment. There's also the misconception that cities are too crowded and dirty for agriculture. But again, the problem isn't cities. The problem is that we've filled cities with cars and street and road infrastructure, as I've pointed out in a few prior episodes. Up to 80% of the surface area of cities devoted to cars and architectural responses to cars. With public transit, which takes up 10 to 30 times less space per passenger mile, cities could have plenty of room for other uses, including agriculture. Then there's the day-to-day challenges, such as the not-in-my-backyard resistance that new projects encounter. Antiquated zoning can force unwanted structures on new developments, including parking minimums. Deed restrictions and homeowners associations can limit what can be done in a neighborhood. And for any really new project, including projects that merge housing, food, and energy, there really are no templates for banks to refer to, so it's much easier to put in a strip mall or a row of detached houses than it is to put in a multifamily mixed-use development that provides its own food and energy. But that's why there's an XPRIZE, because as Peter Diamandis says, the day before something is truly a breakthrough, it's a crazy idea. So here's what I proposed for contest rules. This is the short version. The submission forms were fairly detailed and specific, and I gave them page after page of detailed instructions. But it boiled down to a challenge challenge and a prize purse. So the challenge is build a project with at least 30 apartment units that supplies all of its food and renewable energy on site for 1 year. The first team to achieve that within 5 years wins $5 million. Now, why $5 million? This is about what it would cost to build a 30-unit traditional multifamily housing project. In addition, I thought it would be great to offer incentive awards for the finalists and bonus awards for carbon negative construction, on-site gray water and rainwater collection and use, composting, and so forth. Added up, and the total prize purse came to $10 million. I was writing right down to the wire and hit submit and was informed that they would notify selectees June 1st. Now, I'm recording this before June 1st, so it's a little bit like a pick-your-own-adventure. I have 2 separate endings, and I hope you get to see the one ending. Drum roll. Here we go. I didn't hear back from the XPRIZE. I don't have $10 million, but it's time to recognize progress toward Edenicity in cities throughout the world. I have a separate announcement that I'll be making in the next few weeks, maybe even as early as next week if I'm really lucky. If you see a little white subscribe button below, be sure to tap that so you don't miss the announcement. And if you want to learn more about the Edenicity food system, have a look at this playlist here. Or to learn more about the Edenicity energy system, visit this playlist here. If you're really new to Edenicity and want to see the big picture of how it all fits together, you can download the reference design from the link in the description. Take care, stay green, see you next time.